Hello, Steamboat. How you doing? Got a new show for your viewing. Having breakfast, just keep chewing. And with your support, we'll be cruising. Hello, Steamboat.
After all the jacks are in the boxes, and the clowns have all
What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick Lagorga. I'm here practicing another song for my show on YouTube, Good Morning Acoustics. You can follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Acoustics, or you can give me a like on Facebook at Good Morning Acoustics. Thanks for watching.
Hello, Steamboat is recorded live from the Chief Theater.
Hello, Steamboat. It's me, TC. Monday morning, episode 21. We're still here. Yeah, still going. Thank you to the Chief Theater letting us pilfer the stage, which is incredibly pristine and sharp after a weekend of cabaret, which did fill the stage and the theater for 3 consecutive nights. Well done, squad. Well done. Well rested, I hope, on a Monday, or maybe you guys took the Monday off, because you definitely deserve it and you earned it. Happy post-Mother's Day to all the mommies. I hope you got to chill out, put your feet up, get the mani-pedi, the massage, get the hair did, and all that, and hopefully the kids and husbands, boyfriends, and significant others, partners did not drive you cuckoo. We had a great, well, I'm going to assume we had a great one. Felt good. I hit the DVR on Sunday, recorded the Cavs game, recorded the final round of golf, and followed Mom's instructions. We dug some plant holes in the back. Got some vines, I think, that are going to hopefully grow along the back fence. Got those planted. And Mom did some staining on the deck, front and back, while I was on princess duty and kept her little paws off the fresh stain, which was kind of tough because she likes to hang out with Mom out back, out front, wherever Mom is, she likes to hang out. Coop and I, wow, Coop pulled a good one on Mom. Somehow, he managed to score Madden 18 on Mother's Day. I don't know how it happened, but I actually got it on Saturday. Mom must have been distracting him, I'm guessing, because Rock and I were down doing some Home and Garden Expo interviewing and filming for the pilot today expo that went on, and had a good turnout, had a good time, met some great people. But I got the call from Cooper and said, "Hey, Dad, I got Madden 18, get home," which, of course, he spent the day practicing. I got home and tried to play him, and he put it on me pretty good. I have never played Madden 18, and got a quick tutorial from Cooper, and I did beat him eventually, but it took a spell. So we were hanging out, yeah. We hopefully Mom got to chill and felt rested and had a good time. I had some quick local information that I wanted to make sure you guys were made aware of that I received Friday from my Hello Steamboat investigative team. Colorado Bagel Company. New owners, new name. Let's see here, Julia and Mark Goldman. They've been here for a while. They left. They heard about the bagel company being for sale. They came back. They bought it. New name is going to be Elk River Donuts. Now listen to this. Today, they are closed, you guys, Monday, May 14th until Thursday, May 24th for cleaning, repairs, updating, and renovations. They're going to do some things. We're going to get them on to talk to them about what they got going on, what they're going to hope to do with Elk River Bagels for us here. And they may add some stuff to the menu, but nothing drastically changing on the menu, but they are going to do some interior modifications. So that should be pretty cool. Weather-wise, we got some mid-60s today, low 46, should be nice and sunny. Okay, and then tomorrow you get some showers. Tuesday and Wednesdays you get a high 60s, low 70s with some showers. So, as Rock, the Green Thumb, said, get your bulbs planted. Free watering intermittently throughout Tuesday and Wednesday, okay? So you don't have to worry about your water restrictions. Get the bulbs moist, soothed, and happy. Get those ready to go. Thursday, mostly cloudy, mid-70s as well. And Friday, 70s with some clouds, possible rain and spots. But should be okay. And then we'll let you know what the weekend has in store later in the week. Sports, we had some information going on there. We got the hockey going. Washington and Tampa Bay. Game 1, Washington pulls off 4-2. Winnipeg beat Vegas 4-2. That was Vegas' first loss in the postseason there by more than 2 goals, I believe. So pretty interesting stuff. NBA, LeBron went and got a little feeler in Boston. Got beat up 108-83, 25-point blowout, which was, first game at home. As everyone says, you should hold court at home. So we'll see what happens here in a day when they get back on it. Golden State and Houston will kick off tonight. The Western should be exciting. That's going to be a series that you definitely want to pay attention to. I don't want to go against LeBron, but I think the winner of the West could pull off an upset as well. We'll see what happens. Kind of interesting on the Golden State Warriors front, if anyone is paying attention. Klay Thompson talking about taking a pay cut so he can stay, and a lot of guys are giving him a little grief about that in the NBA. And to each his own. I think he enjoys winning and going to championships and getting the rings and the hardware. And the guy's made over $105 million already, not including endorsements. Who are we to judge? I don't know what makes anyone happy, the hardware, the competition, or the bank account. You know, good on him for doing that. And maybe that'll set a precedence throughout the league. I have a feeling coming up the next year or two, Boston may start doing the same thing. Danny Ainge, the GM there, has done some great acquisitions and drafting, and they're going to hopefully keep their young crew together for several years. For Boston's sake, not that I'm condoning Boston being good in any way. I'm just saying on a financial and business point there, they could pull off something pretty exciting. The Rapids, I believe, they might have lost as well yesterday, 1-0. You know, it is what it is. EPL relegation games have concluded, and Southampton, Swansea, and I think West Brom will be relegated down to the first division. That's unfortunate for them. We'll see how their finances and owners bounce back, because all that happens is when you get relegated, you tend to lose your really good players who will find a way to stay in the Premier League and make that money, as well as keep getting the visuals by other coaches so that they can, one, make their national team, which is coming up June, less than a month, you guys. June 14th, World Cup kicking off. Yeah, the U.S. is not in it. But pick another team, you know, do some fantasy soccer or something and watch. That's going to be a good time. A month of football, F-U-T-B-O-L, okay? Not the American football that we don't need to talk about yet, unless you're worried or concerned about the American Alliance Football League that's coming out. Hopefully it'll be like a development league for the NFL. It'll be starting here in the summer after the draft, and they will run all the way up until, I believe, training camp for the NFL season. So, oddly enough, America, we will be having football year-round. I don't mind. I really don't. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy it. I'm sure my lady's not gonna be too psyched about it, but that's what the DVR is for. So that's what we're gonna do. What do we got guests today? Today I got the man, the myth, the legend. They say he is an icon, not a past, but an icon. John Russell, photographer, reporter, get here up here and share some insights with us about what he's been doing and why he loves doing what he does. Lowen Epstein will be back to give us a wrap-up on the lacrosse season. The boys, unfortunately, did lose to Golden on Friday, so that wraps up their season. They were high expectations and goals that were set. Lowen's a sophomore, so he's going to plan on leading that team for the next 2 years as well. And then we're hoping to hear a little bit from Arts Council as well, see who and what they've got going on for us coming up this summer as well. So stick around. Welcome. It's Monday, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be right back. John Russell. Hello, Steamboat. How you doing? Got a new show for your viewing. Having breakfast, just keep chewing. And with your support, we'll be cruising. Hello, Steamboat.
After all the jacks are in the boxes, and the clowns have all stacked.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Nick Lagorga. I'm here practicing another song for my show on YouTube, Good Morning Acoustics. You can follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Acoustics, or you can give me a like on Facebook at Good Morning Acoustics. Thanks for watching.
Hello, Steamboat is recorded live from the Chief Theater.
Hello, Steamboat. It's me, TC. Welcome back. Good morning. Merry Monday. Hope you treated Mom well yesterday. And for the rest of the year, because they deserve it. I always struggle with the one day of appreciation for Mom, but I guess it's just one day we put them even higher on their pedestal. So that's what we do. But right now, let's get into it. Let's get the meat on the plate right here. My man in the building, John Russell. Come on down. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, how are you?
Sir, good. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate
No problem.
it.
No problem.
Welcome, welcome. So what do you think of our set? You like it?
I love it. This is my first time here, so
Yes, well,
I'm
welcome.
Not normally on television. So.
I know, but you should be in spotlights, I think. I really, to know you is one thing, but then when people go, hey, did you see that picture? And yeah, I know John, yeah. Oh, such an awesome picture. Reporting, photography, does one outweigh the other? Does one make the other viable?
Yeah, it does. In a way, I came to Steamboat 28 years ago to be a photographer. So that was kind of my goal. And unfortunately, when I applied for the job, they weren't looking for just a photographer. They also needed a sports reporter. So
you jumped in?
That's what I do, yeah. So.
Okay, and sports. One particular, you love them all? Or have you learned to love them all?
I've learned to love them all. Actually, when I started, I knew nothing about Nordic combined. Absolutely nothing. I covered that team for, probably like 10 years solid.
You covered their
years.
Olympic run.
Yeah, I was there when Johnny won his silver medals.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun. And I covered them through the good times and the bad times.
Absolutely.
I watched them in Salt Lake City come up just short.
Sure.
It was crushing, and boy, though, it made for a great story.
And how about when they hung up the skis? You were there for that. Was that?
Yeah, it's it's kind of funny. You watch those guys go through their careers,
Yeah.
and it's fun to watch them. And yeah, when they finally retire, there's a little sadness there. But,
Sure.
But Johnny Splain's got a great family,
Yep.
great business going. So I think Todd Lodwick, last I heard, was flipping houses.
Yeah,
someplace
he's
else, and
building, doing
so-
things. And then how about you as well watch the Fletcher boys and the younger crew come up?
Yeah, the Fletchers when we went to Salt Lake City, we were in a condominium with Penny Fletcher, and I got to spend some time with those guys in Salt Lake City. I was running around covering the Olympics and
Right.
the whole thing, so I didn't, wasn't totally focused, but they were running around doing their thing and
Yeah.
stuff. That kind of fell on Joel Richenberger a little
Okay.
bit because he kind of took that over after
Right.
they moved me to other things. So yeah.
True. Now, as I asked, Tom Ross and Katie as well, what brought you to Steamboat, and where are you originally from?
I'm originally from South Denver. Grew up in
Okay.
Littleton. Went to Arapahoe High School. Went to UNC in Greeley for a couple of years.
Okay.
That wasn't working for me. Ended up going to CU.
Now, UNC didn't work because of the odor, or
You know Montfort, huh?
I know Montfort. Was it the odor, or was it the curriculum?
I actually really loved UNC. I actually really loved the school, but they didn't really have a journalism degree that I was
Gotcha.
looking for. So CU did, and back then they had a really good journalism school.
Yeah.
So that's where I went. So,
Okay, and then so Steamboat, someone's like, hey, Russell, get up here.
Well, actually, I was applying for a couple of jobs.
Okay.
I had an internship at the Rocky Mountain News, and they were afraid I would leave for another job if it came up.
Oh, wow.
And then I saw one ad in the newspaper, believe it or not, down in, I think it was in, I can't remember if it was the Denver Post or the Rocky Mountain News, one of them. And I saw one ad for Steamboat. They wanted a sports reporter and a photographer, big photographer there. So I applied for it and got the job. So.
Now, who was it that hired you back then?
I was D. Richards.
D. Richards?
Yeah, it's way back when.
Wow,
So,
gotcha.
So,
now, okay, so you've sat here, you've been here at the pilot, you've seen the changes, Swift has come in, we're moving downtown. Everything kind of uplift, keeps you motivated to keep doing what you're doing as well with the changes?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. My beat has changed a lot in the last few years. I don't even exactly know what I do anymore. I think I'm business and human services now, which is a long way. Things change and you got to adjust. I've learned that over 28 years. You got to do what they want you to do. And I have no problem. It doesn't matter if it's a news story or a sports story. I cover them all the same. So
right. And is there an effort to go out and find a story? Do you find that Steamboat gives you stories?
There's a lot of stories in Steamboat. This is a great town, a wonderful town to cover things. There's lots of really great people here, as you know. I enjoy meeting them and enjoy talking to them. But yeah, some days you have to go find stories, and some days it's not always what you want. But other days, things kind of fall in your lap, and you realize this is what I like to do. This is a lot of fun, and I really, really like to tell people stories.
Yeah,
I really like to get to know people.
If I asked you one favorite over this 28 years that definitely stands out, or a couple even, you got one or two?
Well, obviously covering the Olympics, I went to 3 Olympics. Salt Lake City, which that was just Utah.
Right.
Remember, I had to get a passport to go to Salt Lake City. It was the funniest thing. But their security there required us, and that was in the wake of 9/11.
Okay.
So they were really, really stringent on security there. First time people had to walk through metal detectors and that kind of thing.
Oh wow.
And you'd show up at venues, a couple hours early so you could make sure you got through security and were in the place you needed to be.
And was their security open up everything too, sir? Let me go through.
Oh yeah, they went through your camera bags. They went through. You had to throw everything out on the metal detector.
Right.
It was back then. We weren't used to going through security the way we are now. So.
And so, dramatically and much easier now. Or they've laid off and like, hey, John, good to see you.
No, I don't think really at the Olympics they have. It was always a lot of security there.
Yeah.
Italy, I went to Turin. That was a little bit different.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more laid back, but you got different countries doing it. That kind of lots of security around the Olympics.
Okay.
Which most people don't see that. But
right. No, not at all.
Yeah.
We see the events. How about one that I would say, I don't want to say dread covering, or you had complete negative feedback. Like, how the hell is Russell getting this story?
The hard ones are when you have to go out to traffic accidents, or you have to cover people at memorial services.
Sure.
I'm not a big fan of memorial services. I'm pretty respectful of people. I like to give them their space and their privacy, but unfortunately we're in a business where you don't always get to do that.
Yeah, you don't. You're at the whim of the people?
Well, it's a tough thing. People in Steamboat really care about each other, and they want to know. So when we have a tragedy or something that happens bad in our community, people really want to know. So you got to kind of weigh that difference between the need for people to know what's going on and people's privacy and their feelings.
And what about chance? You probably know the person, right? Do you know a lot of people?
No. I haven't. I've been lucky. I always worry about that when I go out to traffic accidents if I'm going to know somebody. I've had a couple close calls where I actually wasn't the guy that had to cover them. They were friends of mine.
Yeah.
I approach everything the same way, and a lot of times as a news reporter, we don't know, like when you're out taking photos at a accident scene, sometimes you don't know who's involved and until afterwards. So known a lot of people that have been involved with tragic circumstances, and I treat everybody the same. So.
Right. Yeah. Now, on one of our most important topics, you and I are soccer dads. We got to get this out there and let people know. I think you have a passion for soccer almost as much as I do, maybe even more.
I've really developed it. My daughter's played soccer since she was, before she was a U11 in competitive soccer, and so she's on the high school team now.
Yep.
And, I enjoy watching her. I like the game. Actually find myself watching some Premier League games on Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings. I think they're wrapping up right now.
They are. They are, J. Russ.
So,
yes.
I think I'm a big Manchester City fan this year.
Yeah.
Jump on the bandwagon. So
Go Blue.
yeah, it's fun. I like the game.
Now, how about your daughter? Is she watching that EPL with you, or is she out kicking in the back? What's she doing?
She's not a big fan of watching soccer, but she really, really enjoys playing it.
Okay.
I try to get her to watch those games on television. Sometimes it's easier said because when you're sophomore in high school, I think sleeping in is probably the more important thing.
Rest of the body.
Yeah. But no, she's
digging it.
She loves the game. Yeah.
Now, where did she get that? Where's her soccer love come from? Because you didn't play, right?
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't play. I goofed around in a little bit in high school. I know how to kick a soccer ball.
And your Arapaho teams were good. I know that.
Arapaho always had good soccer
Yes.
teams. I'm trying to think back. It's been a long time, 1985, but I'm pretty sure that we won a state title
You did.
the year before I graduated.
I think you did.
So, I think that my love of soccer comes more from interacting with my daughter.
Sure.
And trying to make sure that she can be the best she can be. We spend a lot of time on the road, as you know,
Yes.
going from game to game on the weekends, going to the Front Range.
Well, that's what I said. Don't you think the soccer dad is an endangered species? Tell the truth. Do you think?
We always say about the soccer mom.
Yeah.
The soccer dads are,
We're in the background.
I guess so.
And
that's all right.
We do a lot. People, we want our credit. At least I do. John probably is modest and humble, doesn't care. The girls' team, always rising. Rob Bowman, the youth program, the academy. Do you see it continuing to go with, you've seen the girls that your daughter's been playing with for these years and the future. What do you think?
I hope. Yeah, I'm pulling for him now.
Yeah.
Now I'm emotionally invested, so I want to see him do well. So, Rob Bowman does a great job. His teams always seem to be strong. The boys' teams are always really good, and the girls' teams are good too as well. So.
You got any high school rivals here that you see and we really got to keep an eye on?
Oh, you mean Glenwood is awesome this year. They've got some players on that team. They're just terrific, and they play together as a team. They really seem to blend. I think they are in the quarterfinals right now,
right.
State tournament. I think they just won I'm trying to think who they beat. I can't remember. I think they won a 3-2 game or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Just the other day. So that's good. Palisade had some really strong players, and they always seem to be good down there. I know they're losing some of their studs this year. And I think that's the same with Glenwood. So there's definitely some opening there. Battle Mountain is always the.
And our girls in, so we got a young brigade coming up here for the next year or two as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're getting strong, and we'll see how they go. They think they're still coming together a little bit.
Right. All right. Last question for you here. World Cup coming up. You're gonna watch, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You got a team you're pulling for, or?
Well, I was pulling for the U.S., but that's not gonna happen.
I know. Me too. You and I both.
I don't know. No, I'm gonna take your advice. I'm gonna pick a favorite.
Yeah.
When they start playing and see how they
them.
go. I think there's some underdogs in there that we're gonna be rooting for, right?
Absolutely. I don't want to see Belgium do well again. That's for sure. Now let me wrap this up. My people always say they like to know one thing about me. Ask me one question on there, J. Russ, please.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go. Okay. I like if you don't live in the U.S., in what country would you live and why?
I got you right here. I want to be in Spain. And obviously because of Barcelona, I want Cooper and I to spend some time at Camp Nou Stadium. Maybe he runs into Messi. They get him into the camp, give him this, and he makes good things happen. That's what I want. And because my mom went there, said it was beautiful, so I want to try that. How about you, if I flipped it?
But yeah, that was a quick flip. I really want to go to Norway. I think that Nordic combined thing, I was kind of pulling for them to get the Olympics.
Right.
And had they, I would have been pushing to get back there.
gone.
Yeah, I really someday would love to go to Norway. I've written about, we hear about it all the time around here with our Nordic combined background. I'd like to go there someday.
Cool. John Russell people, if they want to see your photos, can we go online and just see the John Russell archive?
I believe so. I think you could just go online and look up my name. I think they have all my photos and stuff there too as well.
Thank you for the time, brother. Come back and then we maybe do some Nordic skiing.
Yeah.
You can teach us how to do that.
Yeah, I could try.
Stick around. I got Lowen Epstein. That's John Russell. Hello, Steamboat. We'll be right back. Hello, Steamboat. How you doing? Got a new show for your viewing. Having breakfast, just keep chewing. And with your support, we'll be cruising. Hello, Steamboat.
After all the jacks are in the boxes, and the clowns have all stacked.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Nick Lagorga. I'm here practicing another song for my show on YouTube, Good Morning Acoustics. You can follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Acoustics, or you can give me a like on Facebook at Good Morning Acoustics. Thanks for watching.
Hello, Steamboat is recorded live from the Chief Theater.
Hello, Steamboat. It's me, TC. Welcome back on a Monday. I got the youth, the brains, the knowledge. Lowen Epstein, how are y'all?
Doing good.
Let's get the bad stuff out of the way. Friday, what the hell happened?
I mean, we just had some guys who got injured, and we just got outplayed.
Yeah.
Some bad calls, but I mean, we're not gonna make excuses.
No.
So.
Injuries, serious injuries? Are those guys all right, or?
Yeah, they'll be all right. They
Yeah.
just, Logan McAtee, he was a big part of the defense. He had to, he didn't go back in the game, so, it was tough, but we'll bounce back.
Bounce back, okay. And like I told everyone, you got 2 more years of this, so you,
Yep.
do we jump right into it, or do we put the stick up and we chill for a little bit right now?
I'll be jumping right back into it in a month or two.
Yeah, for club?
Yep.
We get right after it.
Mhm.
So is there a month off, a little break?
I mean, I got football starting here a couple weeks too, so.
What position in football are you
I'm a
playing?
wide receiver and defensive back. So
How tall are you?
6'1".
6'1"?
Yep.
Are we going to air out the attack this year?
We'll see. We'll see what coach decides to do, but
Yeah? Is there a potential?
potentially.
I like this.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess like we're going to have him on all year now. Ah. All right, so football or lacrosse, what do you prefer, one or the other?
Probably lacrosse, just
Really?
because of the quality of the teams.
Well, what if the quality of the football team increases due to your...
It might be different.
It might change?
Yep.
All right. Let's get into the NBA because, as I was saying earlier, you and Harv, you guys are you're heating up for the debate. Like, I don't understand. Is he really stuck on this generational player line that you threw out there?
I don't know. I mean, he's just throwing shade. Celtics got one game on the Cavs. The Cavs played bad.
Yeah. Hold court, right? As everyone always says, hold court in your home house, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was just a bad game for LeBron. He had 15 points.
Yeah.
You can't expect him to come out. He has played out of his mind in every single game this entire postseason.
Yeah.
And he just had one off night. So, just like he said in the post-game press conference, it doesn't bother me one bit. And so, we just got to see how he bounces back.
Do you think his squad will help him out? I feel like
I mean, Kevin Love still had 17 last night, and then
Yeah.
he had 2 guys on the bench. Jordan Clarkson, was in double digits, and George Hill was too. So,
Yeah.
The Cavs, if they play good team basketball, find a way to get by Brad Stevens, they should be all right. They're
Now,
still the team to beat, like I've been saying for the past 6 months.
You had said that, but you've given some praise to Stevens and his coaching.
Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
Is Brad going to beat LeBron?
If the Celtics do beat LeBron, I mean, credit to Brad Stevens and credit to the Celtics. I think that it's not going to be unheard of. It's
Sure.
the conference finals. You know, if the Warriors beat the Rockets, we're not going to be surprised. If the Rockets beat the Warriors, I don't
Sure.
think we're going to be unworldly surprised. So, you know, if the Celtics end up running away with it, you know, good for them. I don't think it's going to matter in the long run because whoever comes out of the West is probably going to end up winning the finals.
I said the same thing earlier. Now, is that where we give up, or I don't say we'd say LeBron can't beat the West by himself? Is that what we're kind of saying? Because his team.
I mean, you know, in that last series against the Raptors, we're forgetting the Raptors are, you know, the second best record in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right behind Houston. So, and they swept them. So, you know, there's always things to be said. I think that Houston, because of they have, if they end up going to the finals against the Cavs and it's Mike D'Antoni, you know, the coach for the Rockets, and I think that he's a lot better than Dwayne Casey. Besides Brad Stevens, he's probably the best in the NBA.
Now, you and I also had a little exchange this weekend. Casey gets fired, Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
what's up? Because I called it the George Karl syndrome, right?
Yeah. So, you know, Raptors, one of the best teams in the NBA, best team in the East, and Dwayne Casey leads them to this great run throughout the regular season. Then they get swept by LeBron and his ragtag group of guys in 4 games. And that's when Masai Ujiri, he's the GM for the Toronto Raptors. He came from Denver.
Yep.
He knows what he's doing. You know, he initiated that whole Carmelo trade back in 2009. He's the GM for Toronto. He said, you know, we're done. And I think that's perfectly fair because they look at Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens is without Kyrie Irving. He's without Gordon Hayward. And talk about ragtag group of guys. You know, he's got Terry Rozier running point guard and, you know, Jason Tatum and then a second-year guy, Jaylen Brown. And look at what he's been able to do. So I think that Masai Ujiri was kind of just like, you know, we have 2 All-Stars on this team.
Right.
We have one of the deepest benches in the NBA. I think we should be able to go to the conference finals too. And Dwayne Casey was preventing him from them doing that. You know, Nate McMillan and the Pacers took the Cavs to 7, but a better team in Toronto gets swept.
I always struggle with this, and, you know, we can go through the archives from the huddle, but I hate putting it on the coach when the players don't perform. But everyone always says on a business side, it's easier to get rid of the coach because we can't get rid of Lowry and DeRozan, right?
Yeah.
And you probably wouldn't. Where do you feel on that? Because, I mean, you're okay with it, I'm going to assume.
Yeah, I mean, in that instance, the Lowry and DeRozan didn't play bad.
Right.
The problem was that, you know, if we look at the Pacers Cavs series in that first round series when the Pacers took him to 7, the thing was that they locked down everybody but LeBron. We saw LeBron have his 40-point games, and you know that was that. They would still be in the game with 2 minutes to play, and they would win some of those games.
Sure.
And so that's what Nate McMillan and the Pacers did, and then Dwayne Casey somehow couldn't figure that out. And so you see LeBron handling the ball with 5 seconds left, hits the buzzer beater like in Game 4, or Game 3, excuse me.
Yeah.
And it just kind of you think to yourself, like, this isn't the player's fault, this is the coach's fault. Why isn't LeBron double teamed? Let someone else have the shot.
Yeah,
because I guarantee that there's no one on the floor that has a higher chance of making that shot with 5 seconds left than LeBron James. You know, Michael Jordan has had 3 of those in his career. LeBron had 2 last series. So, I mean, it just kind of, it just kind of makes you wonder. I think that series was completely Dwayne Casey's fault. I think that when you look at the firing of him, it completely makes sense. It just wasn't a fit for Toronto. If you can't look back at the past series, see how the Pacers played, and just do the same thing, but you have better players, so they probably would have won. That's bad coaching.
Okay, who goes to sit in that seat up in Toronto then?
You know, I really like right now. I like Mike Budenholzer. He's the former Atlanta Hawks coach.
Ooh, okay.
He's looking to be a good pick. You know, Milwaukee Bucks. You know, they have an up and coming team too. I think that I just got I've been hearing quite a bit through the grapevine, through Woj, ESPN, and stuff like that. Just Mike Budenholzer is up for the job in Milwaukee and Toronto, so expect him to possibly be a potential coaching there. David Fizdale, he's the New York Knicks coach.
Right.
He was probably the best coach on the market. I love David Fizdale. He came from Memphis.
Right.
And, he got fired by the terrible front office staff there. And, so that's who I think will probably take that seat up in Toronto.
Okay, and how about Fizdale? What do you think Porzingis, do you expect much from the Knicks, or do they need a whole rekindling ingredients to get this thing cooking?
Yeah, I mean, we look at this is going to be a bottom-up franchise.
Really?
We look at, Brad Stevens when he came into Boston, they were the same way, and he took him 2 years before he finally made the playoffs, and finally, now look at where they are. I think that's going to be the same way with Fizdale. They have the basis piece, and that's Kristaps Porzingis. Their first-round pick last year, Frank Nicola. He's a French point guard. He's great too. So they're going to have to kind of build around him and let Fizdale do his job. He's a great coach. He was not given the opportunity well enough in Memphis.
It's close to home. What are our Nuggets going to do to be 1 through 8 and get into the playoffs and be?
Expect the Nuggets to be 1 through 8 next year. They'll
really.
They just got to absolutely.
Okay.
2 more. If they had won 3 more games this year, they would have been a 3rd seed.
Right.
So, all they got to do is just have a good draft. Don't screw that up. They're not really missing any components. They're just in a competitive conference.
Okay. You see players coming up. I mean, I feel like with the one and done, these great kids I see are going to come to Duke and Kentucky and somewhere else, Louisville, and then play for a year and then leave. You got any names or anyone coming out that we can expect to see?
Basically the entire Duke starting lineup, if you want to go there. R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson. But the Nuggets aren't bad enough to have one of those top lottery picks.
Will they trade around, mess around, try and get one?
No, I wouldn't expect them to trade. That's not really how...
We don't do it that way.
Yeah, that's not really how the front office for the Nuggets roll. But, we'll just stay at our spot. We have all the components. Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic down the post will be fine.
We'll be fine. All right. Hey, that's my man Lowen Epstein with the NBA knowledge. We're going to have him stick around because I'm going to get a little NFL knowledge from him as well, and we'll see what's happening on the SSHS sports front as well. See if he can give us some inside scoop behind the doors. And we'll find out how prom went. See if he stayed up late. Stick around. We'll be right back. Hello, Steamboat. How you doing? Got a new show for your viewing. Having breakfast, just keep chewing. And with your support, we'll be cruising. Hello, Steamboat.
After all the jacks are in the boxes, and the clowns have all stacked.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Nick Lagorga. I'm here practicing another song for my show on YouTube, Good Morning Acoustics. You can follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Acoustics, or you can give me a like on Facebook at Good Morning Acoustics. Thanks for watching.
Hello, Steamboat is recorded live from the Chief Theater.
Hello, Steamboats. Me, TC. I'm my man, Lowen Epstein. How are y'all?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for hanging with us. We got to tell people what's going on today real quick. You cool with that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Today we got a little crafter story time. That's at Bud Warner, 10:30 to 11:30. So if you got children's ages 2 to 5 with a parent or caregiver, you can hop on over there and listen to some stories and stay for simple crafts. No registration is necessary, but the library cannot accommodate daycare groups. So don't bring the whole crew down there, okay? A couple kids at a time. Lunch and Learn for youth serving professionals. That's from noon to 1, partners in Routt County. It's the 5th in a series of 8 trainings covering the elements of effective practice for mentoring. The sessions will focus on standard number 4 matching and initiating. Participants are welcome to come in any number of the sessions in the series. RSVP to Becky at partnersrouttcounty.org. We also got family crafters at Bud Warner Library, 4 to 5, kids ages 4 to 12 with a parent or caregiver, or the whole family can participate. In the children's storytime room for craft projects. You go to any of those, Lowen, when you were younger?
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah, you don't remember?
No.
Free landlord-tenant clinics. I think we know some people that could utilize that. That's noon to 1 and 5:30 to 6:30. And you can meet with legal professionals to answer questions on written lease agreements for tenants, landlords, and roommates. How to handle security deposits and avoid eviction. Professional interpreters will be available. And then we got boot camp for new dads. That could be fun. I remember that. During these sessions, soon-to-be dads have the chance to hold and interact with newborns. Whose? We're going to have to question this thing right now and discuss a number of topics with other dads, including how to bond with your baby, supporting your partner, work-life balance, forming a parent team, safety, preventing child abuse, and more. That's pretty cool. I think I went through that as well. My kid's still here, and he seems all right, so I'd like to think he's doing okay. And we got the Ute Indian Prayer Trees at Bud Warner Memorial Library from 6:30 to 7:30. Rocky Mountain Youth Corps and the library present an evening with historian, author, and artist John Wesley Anderson, talking about his book, Ute Indian Prayer Trees of the Pikes Peak region. Anderson focuses on the culture and history of the indigenous Ute, including sacred living artifacts they left behind from 150 to 400 years ago in the form of culturally modified trees. Check that out, 1289 Lincoln Avenue, 6:30 to 7:30. If you want to see what else is going on for the rest of the week, pick up your pilot, and today, check out the happening section. Lowen, that's what we got going on. Thanks for hanging out, my man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
We handled the NBA. You got who do you see in the final, real quick? If I had to ask you, it's going to be Houston and Cleveland.
I mean, that's I'm not gonna sleep on LeBron until somebody beats him, and then, you know, I think Houston's a better run team. I think that this is probably their year, but, you know, if Golden State goes, it's gonna just be another. Yeah, we'll see.
No, see.
I wouldn't be surprised.
How do the Warriors stop James Harden?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what teams have been asking themselves all year, and you don't. He's probably the greatest ISO basketball player ever. You know, he's up there, you know, with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson when it comes to that. And so, you know, they got defensive specialists like Draymond Green, but that's really not going to do the job. He's just going to have to eat. The bigger trouble is going to be stopping Clint Capella,
right,
and you know, Chris Paul.
The bigs for Golden State, you think they can handle Capella?
Yeah. I mean, you know, a lot of, you know, this Golden State basketball team, they've been running Kevin Durant down low, you know, guarding against, because he's 6'10", so.
Right.
Yeah, they should be all right in that aspect. The biggest thing for Houston is going to be to stop their perimeter shooting. So
come out, And then rebound, I guess.
Yep,
Rebound and run, maybe.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just
All
got
right.
a run and gun. It's going to be high-scoring games.
All right, let's switch over to the pigskin, the gridiron. I asked you, Matt Ryan. He's even richer? Can I say it that way?
Yeah.
Is it deserving?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you look at the 3 highest-paid quarterbacks in the NFL, you know, it goes Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo, who played 5 games, and then Matthew Stafford up in Detroit. And, you know, none of them have won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, but on the bench. And
Good point.
So, when you look at this Matt Ryan deal, he's really done more than all 3 of those QBs have done in their respective careers. So, I think the $100 million is just I mean, it's only going to stand for the next couple of weeks until Aaron Rodgers, because he's on a contract year 2. Expect him to be the new highest paid QB in NFL history.
Deservingly for Aaron?
Deservingly, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you cap this ever with the monies, or is it just depend if we the fan keep going, the owners keep making the money, they can afford to pay the players this exorbitant amount of money?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it's not even comparable to NBA contracts or
MLB.
MLB is absolutely ridiculous. You know, Bryce Harper, I think, is the highest paid. Might be Giancarlo Stanton, highest paid player in baseball. You know,
Yeah.
I think he's like a 6-year, $400 million contract, and then Giancarlo Stanton was on like a 13-year, $325 with Miami. So,
And the national Harper's going to get more, maybe?
yeah, Harper. You know, his agent Scott Boras is
Yeah.
a super agent for baseball players. You know, he expect him to kind of work the Nationals around. If they don't want him, if they're not going to pay up, they're not going to get him.
And it seems like other teams' GMs get pissed off when they watch one team go, yeah, here you go. Because then their superstar is going to be like, hey, look what he got.
Oh yeah, I mean that's exactly what Aaron Rodgers is doing. I'm surprised Tom Brady has never done it. He's just you know, that's what I like about Tom Brady. You know, he's not really in it for the money. You know,
Well, Giselle makes more, doesn't
he
she?
he could have literally picked his number. And
Sure.
Could have got it from some other team, but because God knows the Patriots are willing to pay that much.
Yes.
But they didn't, and so. Back to the Matt Ryan thing,
Yeah.
I think it's completely deserving. You know, he took this team to the Super Bowl. They just got Calvin Ridley as their first round pick. They should be back up. They've got some competition though down there. You know.
Yeah.
So you know, with Carolina and
Right.
New Orleans. So
Now, how about New Orleans? Is Drew holding on? He's got a little more left.
yeah, I mean, look for him to get a new deal too.
Okay.
Absolutely. He's the one thing you want is these veterans to spark a fire under their belly. You know, that's part of the reason that the Steelers, you know, their 3rd-round pick was Mason Rudolph, quarterback, Oklahoma
Yes.
State.
Yes.
And that kind of, you know, you heard Ben Roethlisberger saying, oh, why did we pick Mason Rudolph? We could have picked somebody to help us win now. It was such a smart pick by the Steelers front office, because now what do you think Ben Roethlisberger is going to do? He's been talking about retirement the past 2 years, and now he's going to go and try to win these games. If you're playing fantasy football, you might want to pick Roethlisberger as your quarterback.
Ooh, okay. Now let me ask you. I heard the debate last week when Ben's comments came out. Do we expect the veteran to put the hand on the rookie and say, "Here's how we do it"?
No, he already didn't. He already didn't. You know, Mason Rudolph knows. You know, there's 3 quarterbacks on that roster. You know, Josh Dobbs, he was a 3rd rounder out of Tennessee last year.
Yep.
And then Landry Jones, the longtime journeyman veteran. So Ben Roethlisberger doesn't baby them. Why would he baby the rookie?
Yep.
And why would you? You know, it's kind of like, why would you? I mean, imagine just grooming someone to just take your job. Especially in the NFL. It might be a lot easier in some other situations, but as an NFL quarterback, I don't think a lot of these veterans are really into that. So Ben
Yeah.
Roethlisberger should ball out this year.
Okay. How about these Broncos?
How about him?
Are you still comfortable with this quarterback?
100%. 100%.
You haven't deterred in any way.
No, I mean, we won the Super Bowl without a quarterback.
You had a great defense.
Yeah, we still have a great defense. You know, Bradley Chubb,
Okay.
we're completely rebuilt.
Okay.
So,
AFC West is yours to hold? Is that what you're saying?
you know, it's gonna be tough. I think, you know, last year was a down year for the AFC West. A lot. I mean, basically all of the teams didn't really match up as much as they were expected to,
Yeah.
considering the year before. But, I mean, the Chiefs still have a great run team. They got the high-powered offense. They just got Patrick Mahomes under center now, so that could be questionable for them. We'll see how he plays out. San Diego, I think, could potentially come out as the top. L.A. could come out as the top team.
Yes.
In the AFC West, potentially. I mean, look at what they did last year. They started off 0-4. They rattled off like 8 in a row or something. And then, they have one of the best running backs in the NFL in Melvin Gordon. Yeah, their first-round pick, Derwin James, is probably the most athletic kid in the draft besides Saquon Barkley, who went 2 overall to the Giants. And then, Phillip Rivers, he still got it. Keenan Allen had a career season last year. He was unbelievable. And after tearing his ACL the year before.
Right.
So expect the Chargers to make a run for it, honestly.
Okay. This Saquon Barkley and the Giants, Odell Beckham Jr. says he's good. What do you see out of the boys in blue over there?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to bounce back. It's a huge year for them, excuse me. I know that Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham, they already have a great relationship. I think Sterling Shepard's still there as well. Eli Manning is the only question, I think. He's not an elite quarterback anymore, but if he can just get the ball to OBJ and give that 2-step handoff to Saquon Barkley, they should be okay.
And do you feel like Saquon will make an impact immediately?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah? Yeah,
I mean, Giants had like the 27th best rushing in the NFL last year, so anything is a step up from that.
Okay. And I'm wondering about the LA Rams. It looked like they've loaded up with even more talent. What do you see? Expect more from them?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool because that's not really how the Cronkies do things.
Right.
The Cronkies own the LA Rams, and you see, they own the Nuggets and the Avalanche. We never see them make any big moves either. That's just not the Cronky way. And so, the fact that they were in the playoffs last year, they were a good team last year. Well, let's not sugarcoat it. And now they're just taking all this extra money that they have from being years and years of bad with Jeff Fisher and using it to buy these players. And, it's great. Their defense is, they have the Defensive Player of the Year and Aaron Donald on there. And they got, Tremaine Jones, great stud defensive back, Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters. That could potentially be the new no-fly zone.
Oh, boy.
So NFC West, they'll be running things.
Okay. Can you give my Raiders a little praise? You see anything good out of the silver and black as well?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not a Raiders guy.
I know, but be a knowledgeable guy and tell me that they're going to be
good. They drafted Colton Miller. He's a 6'10", 280 lineman out of UCLA. That was their first-round pick. That's a great pick.
Okay.
Derek Carr's back on his feet this year. And you got to protect him. The only thing that they didn't really do is draft a good secondary. Their defensive backs and safeties are so bad.
We give up points.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It is terrible through the air what they give up. So I think that you could potentially see something coming from in the free agency over the summer.
Okay.
Drafting it or not drafting, but picking up a cornerback or a free safety. And then, Coach Gruden.
I was going to ask you, Coach Gruden, he was a defensive guy in Tampa. Will this Raider defense kind of realize they got to play for Coach?
It might not be this year, but he's on a 10-year deal. So in the next couple of years, that Raider defense is definitely going to get built up. Right now, they're just, to build a tall skyscraper, you got to start with the foundation. And that's what they're doing, drafting big linemen like Colton Miller.
Okay.
So, keep protecting Derek Carr. The last thing they want is for him to get hurt again. That would be just the worst thing to happen for the Raiders.
Okay.
And,
we got a chance. Yeah. How about for our chief of the chief here, Buffalo? Because no one ever talks about Buffalo. Can they make a run? They got a quarterback, right? They let Tyrod Taylor go. What do you see out of Buffalo?
Yeah, I don't know if releasing Tyrod Taylor was the way to go because whether you like him or you not, whether you like his play style or not, he's that kind of get out of the pocket, scramble quite a bit. He's that type of a quarterback, and a lot of Bills fans complained about that even though he took you to the playoffs for the first time in 14 years. So I don't think letting him go was really the thing to do. Moreover, you should have let him kind of train Josh Allen. Because who's he going to learn? Nathan Peterman, 5 interceptions in a half?
Yeah.
No. I don't think that's the guy to train Josh Allen. So in that sense, that wasn't really the best move.
Sure.
So I don't see the Bills really making the playoffs this year, But they still have a decent defense. Micah Hyde, defensive back for them, and we'll see. I wouldn't say they make the playoffs though.
Okay. How soon before I see Baker Mayfield in a game that matters?
Not until the Browns are eliminated from playoff contention.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so. Why? Why would you put him in if Tyrod Taylor is your veteran QB?
Yeah.
You got Jarvis Landry on the outside. You got Flash Gordon on the outside. Why? There's no reason to put him in if Tyrod Taylor can do the job, which
Okay.
I think that he can.
If he can't, is Baker...
If he can, obviously he'll come in earlier.
Okay.
But I think that we won't see Baker Mayfield. He's just going to spend a lot of time learning and learning and learning. He plays a lot like Tyrod Taylor. So
Okay.
I think they expect him to just stay back, watch Tyrod Taylor do his thing, and as soon as the Browns are eliminated from playoff contention, we'll see Baker Mayfield go in. But I wouldn't see him as a Week 1 starter.
Okay. How about Rosen? What do you see? How soon do I see
Yeah,
Rosen?
Rosen is he was probably my favorite quarterback in that draft.
Okay.
In the sense that he was the most pro ready.
Sure.
We could see him start right away for the Cardinals. That's why they drafted him. He's the most NFL ready out
Yeah.
of all. He might not be the most talented,
Okay.
but he's the most NFL ready.
Okay.
And so I would say that the Cardinals put him in. He could potentially be their day 1 starter.
Oh, wow. And how about Darnold? Do I get to see Darnold soon?
Yeah, you'll see Darnold there too. I'm not a big fan of him, but
I know, you said that.
A lot of turnovers. Could be a reincarnation of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hopefully not for Jets fans.
Is he a little Favre-ish, though? He
I
thinks he
I don't
is?
see it. I don't
You don't see it?
I don't see it. I don't. I think he's kind of wimpy. He doesn't know how to handle the ball. He throws it to the opposite team quite a bit. But who else do the Jets got? They got that kid from a couple of years ago out of Penn State.
Yeah.
I can't even remember his name, but
And
that's
if you
really,
can't remember his name, it doesn't matter.
That's really all they got. So, Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen will both be day 1 starters.
There it is, you guys. The youth, the knowledge. Football camp then is starting up for you? You guys got some camp?
Yeah, we got it. When June comes around.
Okay. You got to start off-season lifting or anything like that?
Yeah.
All right. We'll keep an eye on this one. You could do some great things. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. We
Yeah,
appreciate
absolutely.
It. We'll
Thanks
see
for
you this
having me.
afternoon.
See you on Wednesday, Harv.
Yeah, he's calling it out, the great debate. Yeah, that's what we got. Rock decided we got to have the Hello Steamboat great debates, and we might get the RCs in here to talk about who's better at hockey. We're going to get Lowen up against Harvey, and then we might even – I'm thinking he'll win that first match, and then we'll pit him up against Drew and go from there.
Drew's way easier than Harvey.
The youth calling it out. Hello, Steamboat.
Give me Greg.
You want Greg?
Yeah, I'll get Greg.
There it is. He's calling you out, Greg Johnson. So there it is. Hello, Steamboat. Great debate. Pick your challenger. Bring them on. We'll let you guys have at it. It's Monday. Be good to each other. Keep it Steamboat. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.